Hi, so I believe an industry that is going through a point of major strategic inflection right now is going to be retail clothing stores. Now, I say this for a few reasons. The first and foremost is going to be the fact that culture is just simply changing, and it's moving away from brick and mortar stores and away from malls. Now, we take into example, like I said, malls. The foot traffic there is just, it's decreasing, profits are decreasing, and rents are increasing because they need to cover their overhead cost. And so they're compensating. Now, stores that primarily, have their storefronts in malls, they're really suffering right now. Let's take into an example, PacSun, Abercrombie and Fitch, those teen retailers that really used to thrive in malls. They didn't have to spend a whole lot on advertising simply because they were there, right? Moms and parents dropped teenagers off at malls, and that's where they shopped. That's the stores that were available to them. Now there's the internet. So kids are texting now. They're not necessarily going to malls to shop around. They're just, shopping online and texting each other. So that's something that they need to focus on and making the jump. So a lot of stores, of course, are going down and going bankrupt. Like I said, PacSun and Abercrombie and Fitch, their stocks are plummeting. They have to make a strategic move at some point. Now let's take into an example a little bit of an older demographic store. It's called The Limited. Now they actually focus on some professional clothes for women. So it's a little bit older of a store, and they actually just made the decision to fully close all of their brick and mortar stores and solely focus on online retail. So that's a big jump right there. They closed about 150 storefronts, and simply because they couldn't afford the overhead of it. Leases were out of control at storefronts, and really there wasn't enough foot traffic to justify it anymore. So they're focusing fully on retail and then on online retail, and then really there's some strengths and some weaknesses to that marketing, to that strategic jump. One, of course, is going to be the marketing switch that's going to have to be made. So their demographic is going to widen considerably. People in regions that didn't necessarily have a Limited, they're now going to have to market towards those people, and they'll be able to see and, click on their stores. So they're going to have a lot more competitors, of course, because it's going to be more than just the stores that are in the same mall or inside the same shopping center. It's going to be all retail brands that focus on the same thing. So still New York and Company, still Macy's, still everything like that. But then there's also going to be China, those Chinese retailers that you can get some professional clothing for a lot cheaper. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to think about, and I think it's going to be a real test to other retailers as well. So if the Limited can make this jump from a brick and mortar store to an online store, then I think others are going to follow suit, and I think it's going to be the path of the future. So I'm excited to see how that's going to turn out and see the success of that, and really see if malls are going to exist in the future, because I don't necessarily believe so, but anything can happen. People still like to try on clothes, so we'll see. All right, thanks.